Bond. James Bond.
Pierce Brosnan is an Irish-born Hollywood actor and producer. He has an incredible talent, a noble character, and a charm that didn't leave him over all these years. Let's discuss how his career began and what difficulties he had to overcome on his way to success.
Been looking forward to this meeting.
Me too.
Pierce Brosnan, how retired James Bond lives and where he spends his millions. Pierce Brendan Brosnan was born on May 16, 1953 in Drogheda, the Irish port town near Dublin, in an underprivileged family. His father, Thomas, was a carpenter and his mother, May, was a nurse at a local hospital. Pierce was an unwanted child. When the boy was less than a year old, his father, tired of hardships, abandoned the family. And a few years later, his mother did almost the same. Leaving the child with her parents, May went to London looking for a better life. However, unlike Pierce's father, who disappeared without a trace, May planned to reunite with her son. Since the age of 4, Brosnan has lived with his grandmother Kathleen and grandfather Philip in Navan, which he considers his hometown. Unfortunately, 2 years later, Kathleen and Philip died. At that time, his mother could not reunite with her son, so the boy spent some time with relatives until he got into a Catholic boarding house. There, future Bond attended school and served as an altar boy. Today, Pierce has chills remembering his stay at the boarding house. Not only did he feel lonely, but he was also punished for the slightest misdemeanor. Meanwhile, the mother of the future actor got married for the second time. Her new husband, William Carmichael, didn't mind getting his stepson out of the boarding school. Hence, when the boy turned 11, the family reunited. For a short time, they lived in Scotland, after which they settled in England. Brosnan had always dreamed of living in a big city, but he had no idea how difficult it would be. In London, the boy continued his studies at a local school, immediately facing the ridicule of classmates associated with his tall stature and Irish origin. The children there called him Irish instead of using his name. Pierce's mother worked non-stop and did not pay due attention to her son. Fortunately, Brosnan developed a warm relationship with his stepfather. It was William who first took Pierce to the cinema for the premiere of Goldfinger. This picture was about James Bond, whose role Pierce will play in the future. There's something karmic about it. The boy's hobby, drawing, saved him from misery and loneliness. At 15, the future actor dropped out of school to enroll in an art college. At the same time, he began working as an illustrator and later got a job in a photo studio. Brosnan once witnessed a fire-eating show. Our future agent 007 was so impressed by what he saw that he learned it and soon began working in a circus. The beginning of Pierce's acting career happened by a lucky chance. The young man received an offer to play a small role in Oval House, the experimental theater, and he agreed out of curiosity. Happy with this experience, he decided to connect his life with the film industry. For 2 years, he worked hard to save money for further education. Brosnan worked as a designer, a salesman in a department store, a handyman in a factory, a dishwasher in a restaurant, and a cleaner. At that time, the future actor even got the nickname Church Mouse, as he could barely make ends meet. In 1973, he finally enrolled at the Drama Centre London, where he studied acting for 3 years. After receiving his diploma, Pierce got a job at the York Theatre Royal as an assistant director. 6 months later, playwright Tennessee Williams offered him the role in The Red Devil Battery Sign. His performance delighted both the London audience and the play's author. Williams, the author, even sent him a telegram stating, "Thank God for you, my dear boy." To this day, Brosnan carefully keeps it in a frame as the first recognition of his talent. Over the next 4 years, Pierce continued to shine on the theater stage. Despite the public's recognition, he still dreamed of the big screen, going to auditions whenever he could. His film career began in 1980. The actor had a brief appearance in the crime drama The Long Good Friday. According to the script, Pierce's character had no lines, but he still managed to utter a monosyllabic greeting. After that, he appeared in several little-known films and episodes in Professionals and Hammer House of Horrors. The same year, Brosnan got married for the first time. His chosen one was the Australian actress Cassandra Harris, whom he met a few years earlier. The girl was 5 years older than Pierce. Also, at the time of their acquaintance, she was still married with 2 children. According to Brosnan, it was love at first sight, but he did not even dream it was mutual. Indeed, initially, Cassandra had no feelings for Pierce, considering him just a funny guy. However, upon closer contact, it turned out that they had a lot in common. When Harris divorced her husband, her relationship with future Bond moved to a new level, and soon the lovers got married. 3 years later, his wife gave birth to son Sean. Together with Cassandra, they raised her children from a previous marriage, Charlotte and Christopher, with whom he had a warm relationship. After their father's death, Brosnan adopted them, giving them his last name. Meanwhile, in 1981, the actor starred in the American TV series Manions of America, which was popular in the United States and brought Pierce his first fame. The very next year, Brosnan decided to move with his family to America to build a career in Hollywood. Having managed to star in 2 British TV series before leaving, Play for Today, Nancy Astor, the role in the latter earned him a Golden Globe Award nomination. In the United States, Pierce starred in the detective series Remington Steele. He played a former thief who became a fictitious boss of a detective agency.
Are you kidding? He's Remington Steele. You're as good as they say you are.
The Remington Steel Agency is far more than one man, officer. On their behalf, I thank you.
The public warmly received the series, broadcast for 5 seasons. Once, during the filming, a man approached Brosnan and introduced himself as his father. But according to the actor, this meeting was unexpected and unpleasant for him. Our future Bond did not want to establish a relationship, and after that, he never saw Brosnan Sr. again. In 1986, Pierce received an offer to star in the movie The Living Daylights as James Bond, but under the contract terms with NBC, he could not accept it, although he had long dreamed of playing Agent 007. Back in 1981, the actor's wife took part in the next 007 movie, For Your Eyes Only. At one of the parties dedicated to the movie, she did not miss the opportunity to introduce Pierce to the producer Albert Broccoli, but the conversation didn't lead to cooperation. In the late 80s, the movies Nomads, The Fourth Protocol, Taffin, The Deceivers, The Heist, and the miniseries Noble House and Around the World in 80 Days added to the filmography of our actor.
I must say, however, we can tell leave a great deal to be desired.
By the way, during the same period, the actor auditioned for the lead role in the movie Batman. To impress the director, he joked, saying he couldn't understand a man who wears underpants over his pants. However, director Tim Burton did not find it funny and preferred to give the role to Michael Keaton. In 1990, Pierce starred in the drama Mr. Johnson, and the following year in the thriller Murder 101 and the thriller mystery Victim of Love. At the end of 1991, a tragedy happened in Brosnan's life. His wife died of ovarian cancer after 4 years of fighting the disease. By the way, Cassandra's daughter Charlotte died from the same illness 22 years later. The actor suffered a heavy loss, unable to recover for a long time. As he said, painting and hiking along the coast help him cope with grief. In 1992, Pierce starred in the action movie Livewire and the horror movie The Lawnmower Man. The following year, he starred in such movies as Death Train, the military drama The Broken Chain, the thriller Entangled, and the comedy Miss Doubtfire, in which he played a minor but very memorable role.
Accent's a little kind of muddled.
Really? Well, so's your tan.
In 1994, Brosnan starred in the drama Love Affair and the thriller Don't Talk to Strangers. In the same year, Pierce met American journalist Keely Shea Smith at a beach party in Mexico, with whom he developed a romantic relationship. After the death of his wife, the actor completely plunged into work and did not pay attention to his personal life at all, although many girls sought his attention. In addition, his children protected him in every possible way from potential stepmothers. However, the appearance of Keeley in Brosnan's life radically changed everything because both Pierce and his children fell in love with her. The actor even called the girl a guiding star because she helped him leave the past behind. Together, they had 2 sons, Dylan and Paris. Officially, the lovers got married only after the birth of their youngest son, after 7 years of relationship. In 1995, our hero starred in the thriller Night Watch and the action movie GoldenEye, where he appeared as James Bond.
You destroy every vehicle you get into.
Standard operating procedure. Boys with toys.
By the way, the actor got his role thanks to Chris Columbus, the director of Miss Doubtfire, who, after collaborating with Brosnan, recommended him to Martin Campbell. Thus, Pierce finally got the long-awaited role. Interesting fact, shortly before filming, the actor suffered a hand injury. So in some scenes, we see the hand of his 22-year-old son, Christopher. At that time, the guy was just learning to be a film crew assistant. By the way, Agent 007 drank iced tea in the frame instead of a martini with vodka. The picture was a resounding success. The movie surpassed all previous parts of the franchise at the box office. At the movie premiere, Pierce got nominated for the MTV Channel Award for Best Fight and the Saturn Award for Best Actor. He received $4 million for the film. In 1996, the actor starred in the fantasy comedy Mars Attacks as Professor Donald Kessler and played Alex in the melodrama The Mirror Has Two Faces, starring Barbara Streisand.
Who you were, not because I wanted who you were.
So now you want who I am because I'm not who I was anymore?
The same year, Brosnan and his longtime friend Beau St. Clair founded Irish Dreamtime, a production company. Tragically, this woman's life ended because of ovarian cancer in 2016. In 1997, Pierce starred as a volcanologist in the action movie Dante's Peak. Since the man is claustrophobic, shooting some scenes was hard for him. He also played Robinson Crusoe in the adventure drama of the same name.
Master, Friday.
Master, Friday.
A small role of the cabin boy on the ship in this movie was played by Pierce's 11-year-old son, Sean. Filming began 3 years before the premiere, and the day before it, Brosnan got introduced to the public as a new James Bond, but with a characteristic Robinson Crusoe beard. The filmmakers wanted to use the popularity of the 007 franchise to promote their project, but unfortunately, it did not meet expectations. By the way, the shooting of Robinson Crusoe took a couple of days more than expected. Hence, they offered him an increased salary, but instead, he asked for a new sports model of the Porsche 911 Carrera. In 1997, there was the second James Bond movie, Tomorrow Never Dies, starring our actor.
Equipment, I'll send the messages. On second thoughts, you type.
During the filming, Pierce was injured, hit by a stuntman's helmet right in the face, resulting in several stitches. Hence, the rest of the scenes were shot so no one saw the stitch on the screen. The public warmly received the picture, and our Agent 007 received the Saturn Award as the Best Actor. He became the first James Bond in franchise history to win the award. In addition, he got nominated for the European Film Award for Outstanding Achievements, and his salary for the role was $8.2 million. In 1998, Brosnan voiced the character of the cartoon Quest for Camelot and starred in the drama The Nephew, in which he debuted as a producer. The following year, Pierce starred in Grey Owl, The Match, and the sequel to the James Bond franchise, The World Is Not Enough.
Lose the girls, Valentine. We need to talk.
Why am I suddenly worried that I'm not carrying enough insurance?
Shooting the scene in which Agent 007 grabs the cables of the Millennium Dome in London required much effort from stuntmen. So, to emphasize how hard it was to shoot all this, the director used shots in which Brosnan's character tries to grab the cables but misses. Also, the scene where James Bond straightens his tie while underwater wasn't originally in the script. Pierce came up with it on set. Interesting fact, under the contract terms, upon receiving the role of Agent 007, the actor cannot wear a tuxedo on the set of other films unrelated to Bond movies. The World Is Not Enough received mixed reviews from critics but was commercially successful. At the same time, Brosnan and his on-screen partner, Denise Richards, got nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti Award as the worst screen combo. His salary for the movie amounted to $12.4 million. During the same time, the public saw The Thomas Crown Affair, where our celebrity played the lead role and acted as a producer.
You'd like to have that?
Why? Will you get it from me?
Anything's obtainable.
According to the script, his character had to perform complex stunts in the frame, most of which the actor decided to do by himself. Also, Pierce had to learn how to play golf. You can notice that Brosnan's character is wearing a suit, but the top button of his shirt is unbuttoned, and the bow tie is not tied. Formally, such an appearance is not ceremonial, and therefore, it is technically not a tuxedo. Thus, the actor managed not to violate the Bond contract. In 2001, Brosnan voiced a character in The Simpsons and played the lead role in the thriller The Tailor of Panama. The following year, he starred in the Irish drama Evelyn and the James Bond action movie Die Another Day.
It's a betrayal your people. I'm after a North Korean.
A tourist?
A terrorist.
One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
For the latter, Pierce was again nominated for the Saturn Award and received a fee of $16.5 million. After the movie's release, the actor was dissatisfied with the work but wanted to star in at least one more Bond film. However, the franchise creators decided not to renew the contract with him, and thus Pierce became the only Bond who stopped shooting against his will. It was a big disappointment for viewers, many of whom considered Brosnan the best 007 agent ever. Interestingly, during the filming of the first movie, the actor weighed around 165 pounds, which made him the lightest Bond, and during the filming of the fourth, his weight exceeded 209 pounds, which gave him the status of the heaviest 007 agent. In addition, our hero holds another record. Brosnan became the most murderous of the Bonds, taking the lives of 135 people in 4 movies. After that, Pierce's filmography increased with the movies Laws of Attraction, After the Sunset, and The Matador. For his role in the latter, he received a nomination for the Saturn and the Golden Globe Award.
I won't tell you. Good. Won't mention it.
Great.
Won't say that all you have to do is trip on the street right next to him.
I can't believe you just said that.
During the same period, Brosnan received American citizenship while remaining a citizen of Ireland. Queen Elizabeth II also made the artist an honorary officer of the Order of the British Empire. In 2006, Brosnan starred in the action movie Seraphim Falls, and in the following year, he appeared in the drama Married Life and the thriller Butterfly on a Wheel. Notably, during the filming of one of the scenes, the actor actually crashed the car in the parking lot.
Who do you think you are? Oh, that's easy. Right now, I'm God.
In 2008, Brosnan played a minor role in the musical Mamma Mia, for which he had to take singing lessons for 6 weeks.
When you're gone, how can I even try to go on?
However, the audience and critics were not enthusiastic about the actor's musical skills. Pierce even received the Golden Raspberry Anti Award for the project. However, the man was not upset because the main thing for him was that he managed to star in the same movie with Meryl Streep, which he had long dreamed of. Later, Brosnan was the narrator in the cartoon Thomas and Friends, The Great Discovery, and the documentary Oceans. He also appeared in The Greatest, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, Remember Me, and The Ghost Rider. The critics highly appraised his role in the latter.
When we get back to the house, we need to have a meeting.
In 2011, Pierce starred in the horror movie Bag of Bones, the thriller Salvation Boulevard, and the melodrama I Don't Know How She Does It. The following year, he played one of the lead roles in the drama Love Is All You Need.
You know, you haven't said one nasty thing to me in over 6 minutes.
It's a magical thing, silence.
In an interview, Brosnan admitted that he agreed to star in this movie in memory of his late wife, as the picture reveals the social problems of society and reminds the viewer of family values. Later, the actor's filmography was enriched by The World's End, The Love Punch, A Long Way Down, The November Man, Some Kind of Beautiful, No Escape, A Christmas Star, and Survivor. In 2016, Pierce acted as a narrator in the documentary Aldabra, Once Upon an Island, and starred in the detective drama IT and the thriller Urge. In this picture, he shot his scenes in only 3 days. He also received a World Cinema Award from the European Film Awards. The following year, the actor began acting in the TV series The Sun. Later, he also appeared in the drama The Only Living Boy in New York and the action movie The Foreigner as a former member of the Irish Army who became a British official.
Give me the names.
What's that? Wanker threatened me and hung up.
Then the movies Spinning Man, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Final Score, and Eurovision Song Contest The Story of Fire Saga appeared in the piggy bank of our actors' works. In 2021, Pierce voiced a cartoon character in Riverdance, the animated adventure, and played the king in the musical Cinderella, a doctor in the horror movie False Positive, and a seasoned thief in the adventure thriller The Misfits. The following year, the public saw his work in The King's Daughter and Black Adam.
You said you wouldn't hurt the prisoners.
That was sarcasm.
Well, technically, it was just a lie.
At the moment, Brosnan continues his acting career. Recently, there was the premiere of the action movie The Outlaws. Soon, we'll see him in such movies as Fast Charlie and The Last Rifleman. During the years of his career, Pierce was twice recognized as the most beautiful man in the United States, and in 2001, People magazine named him the sexiest one. Hence, women always gave Brosnan their attention. Despite this, the actor remains a faithful husband and an exemplary family man. In his free time, he enjoys fishing and painting pictures. You can see the latter on his official website. In May of 2023, Pierce opened his first art exhibition, presenting 50 paintings, 100 drawings, and other creations. To date, the celebrity's net worth is around $200 million. He earned it through film royalties, production activities, and advertising contracts. At one time, Pierce starred in advertisements for Diet Coke, Omega Watches, Visa Payment System, Vegas Club, Spar Stores, Kia Cars, and Brioni and Barbary fashion brands. In most cases, advertisers exploited the image of an elegant Agent 007. After shooting a commercial for the Indian chewing mixture Pun Bahar, the actor apologized to the public as he assumed that he was advertising a harmless breath freshener, but in fact it was chewing tobacco, which can be harmful to health. Brosnan is active in public activities. He supports legalizing same-sex marriage, strengthening gun control, and protecting the environment. He has also been a UNICEF ambassador in Ireland for 20 years. Plus, he sends the money raised from the painting sale to cancer funds. Brosnan also supported the Ukrainians, calling for an end to the war started by Russia. The artist owns several house properties. In 1996, he bought a house in Malibu for $600,000, but sold it in 2012 for $2.6 million. In 2000, Brosnan purchased several plots of land near the ocean in Malibu for $7.4 million and built a luxurious mansion there, which he called the Orchid House. Its construction took 10 years and $18.5 million. Inspired by Thailand's architecture, the mansion has an area of almost 13,000 square feet, equipped with a swimming pool with a seating area, a guest house, and a garden. The property has a smart home system, but its main feature is environmental friendliness. The roof has solar panels, and the house has a water system with filters that purify used water. The mansion also has a system that disposes of waste and garbage, eliminating environmental pollution. In 2015, part of the house got destroyed in a fire, and 4 years later, the incident repeated. In 2020, he put it up for sale for $100 million. In 2019, Brosnan purchased a house for $2.4 million in Santa Monica, California. The 3-bedroom and 3-bathroom mansion has an area of 2,300 square feet. Now, Brosnan and his family live on the Hawaiian island, Kauai, where they have a cozy paradise villa in a tropical forest near the ocean. The actor owns a collection of cars that includes Ford Anglia, Aston Martin, Ford F-150, Range Rover, and several BMW models. Over the years of his career, the actor starred in more than 100 movies, receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Which Pierce Brosnan movie do you like the most?
Busy, have we, Mr. Fong?
Just surviving, Mr. Chang. Just surviving.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.